Today we're going to answer an age-old question. How long does it take you to read an omnibus? What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy GemMint, and yeah, I've seen this question a lot, whether it's in videos or during live streams. People want to know, how long does it actually take to read one of those omnibus? And the short answer is, it depends. There are three factors that will determine how long it's going to take you to get through one of these omnibus. And the first one is, what era is the content that you're reading? Anything from the Golden Age, the Silver Age, and even the Bronze Age is going to take a little bit longer to read because they had a lot more dialogue. The dialogue could also be a little dated, making it harder to get through, but that's just how they were telling the stories back then during those times. For the most part, something Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age could take me weeks, maybe even months to read. What I like to do is really just go issue by issue when it comes to those, especially the older material. The comics are usually a one and done, so I just try to get through one issue if it's hard to get through, and just do issue by issue until I eventually finish the book. Sometimes it can be a chore, not every issue is going to be a banger. For a modern omnibus, I can knock one out in either one sitting or maybe just a couple of days if it's got more issues. So for instance, the Moon Knight omnibus that I did a read through and review on the channel, I read that in just 2 days. A lot of it is because, like I said, there's less dialogue, but also because the way that those issues are formatted, they're usually in 4 to 6 issue arcs, which you could usually see in the table of contents. So with the modern books, I just kind of focus on knocking out one arc at a time, and if that first arc goes pretty quick, I'll go ahead and start reading the next arc, and then boom, eventually you've read the entire omnibus. But that's not going to be true for every book. So the second factor to consider is the writer, because you can have a modern book, but you can have a writer like Grant Morrison who does very complex storytelling. They can be dense and heavy on the dialogue, so it's not relying on the artwork to tell the story as much. So something like the Invisibles omnibus is going to take a little longer to read than something like Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. If you guys are into exclusive variant comic books, you got to check out THATSPIDERMANBOOTH.com. They have a monthly subscription box that gives you 5 comics each month, $100 worth of retail value for just $50. But in addition, you also get a variant that's exclusive to this box. And for July, we have an Essentia issue 18, an Alex Regal Akira homage, limited to just 600 copies. Head on over to ThatSpidermanBooth.com so you can check out their subscription box today. And then the third thing to consider is, how big is the actual book? There are some omnibus that only have about 12 issues. I'm thinking about like Marvel's Superhero Secret Wars. And then you have omnibus that are literally 1,600 pages. So that's also gonna vary on how long it's gonna take you to complete it. Something like Secret Wars, you can knock it out in one sitting. But if you want to read something bigger like Spider-Man 2099, you're probably going to take at least a couple of days just because of the sheer amount of issues. So how long does it take to read an omnibus? Basically, it depends on the era of the material that you're reading, who wrote it, and how big is the actual omnibus. How many issues does it collect? I like this question, man. Keep them coming. Appreciate you watching, and stay minty fresh. Peace.